Good morning. It is absolutely freezing. We got up at 4 AM because we're going to watch the sunrise over the Himalayas. We were once again blessed with clear skies as we got to watch a beautiful sunrise as well as the third highest mountain in the world, Kanchenjunga. That was amazing. Puppies!
They're friends!
Look at those views. Oh wow, let's look at this shot from over here. Oh, I want to take a picture of that as well. So speaking of taking pictures, guess who forgot their camera? It is so cold. My gloves were still wet, so I couldn't wear any.
Basking in the sun.
Aww. We crammed ourselves back into the Jeep and made our way back downhill. And now that the sun was up, we could actually see how hazardous this road actually was. A quick stop because our driver spotted a lost phone on the road.
Maybe it was his work phone.
Trip into our room. And there we go. That's where it was. So we were up there. Today's breakfast, so freaking good. We had this Tibetan bread that was like kind of sweet, and it was so delicious. We set foot into Red Panda Habitat one last time, this time from the top of the hill instead of our usual route. And with it being such a clear day today, we got a much better view of Kalpokri Lake on the way.
So this is the berries which Red Panda feeds on.
Okay.
So this is the good season for them.
Oh, whoa. We then set up camp once again, and we didn't even have to wait long before... Well, yeah, before that. Panda spotted. Let's go. 2 cubs had been sighted not far from us this time, only about 10 minutes away. We were told to leave our bags, so I quickly grabbed all the camera gear I could carry and headed out. Since we started at the top of the hill this time, we had to make our way down, which definitely was not fun, especially when it came to these steep downhill streams full of loose rocks that would shift under every step that you took. But we made it, and it was so worth it. I didn't care about getting wet anymore, so to help keep myself stable, I just sat straight down in the mud. I took up my monopod, which I forgot to bring on our first day of panda spotting. This would help me keep stable and also take some better videos of these pandas. This was such a magical moment. The cubs were incredibly cute and super curious. I would have never expected to get so close to the pandas here. That's the whole reason I bought my 600mm lens. But here I could easily use my 400mm one as well, which was good because my lenses were constantly fogging up, both inside and out. At first I thought it was just the fog, which was also prevalent, but no, it was my camera. And the one thing that I didn't quickly grab out of my bag after we left it was some wipes to clean the lens with. So basically I was constantly fumbling between taking pictures, taking videos, cleaning my lenses, swapping lenses or cameras, just anything to get a good video or picture of these adorable cubs. But I also did not forget to just enjoy the moment. If my camera wasn't going to capture the moment well, I better take it all in myself. Something I didn't really do that much with the first panda, being so exhausted from hiking to it, so I made sure to do it here. Despite everything, I still got some great shots that I am very proud of. That was amazing. But we have to go because the cubs are getting stressed. So we're leaving. Thursday wouldn't be over them. Yeah, it had gotten quite crowded around here. There was our group, the other group of photographers we've already met before, and some other people had also appeared in the area. One of them we already met at the homestay, a single traveler with a private guide, and it seemed there was another group like him. We later learned that despite being told to leave, just like us, they actually stuck around and also saw the mother of the cubs. Great for them, but that was just very disappointing to hear, especially once we learned that their guides likely weren't even licensed to track the pandas in this area. It was all a little bit shady. And the whole situation did make me think about the effects of ecotourism like this. I specifically chose the Red Panda Network because I knew that they would be doing it responsibly. They set up rules for themselves. For instance, an encounter with an animal should only take about 20 minutes at most, and afterwards that animal is to be left alone for at least a week. They also spread their eco-trips across as many areas as possible to minimize the impact on any given area. But the success of these eco-trips does show to locals that there is a demand for people to see these animals, which is simultaneously one of the biggest benefits of ecotourism. It creates incentives for locals to protect these animals, to keep tourists coming. But when locals also start offering these eco-trips themselves, it's not guaranteed that they will do so responsibly. And then when you have people like these private guides that we saw, who basically just follow other groups to get to the pandas without really putting in the effort themselves, today all these factors resulted in it getting way too crowded and just not being an ideal situation for the animals. I hope today was an exception and not the rule, or at least that this problem is being worked on, which is a difficult thing to do. It requires the full cooperation of the locals to be done. At least the Red Panda Network is aware of the issue, so we tried not to let it ruin our day.
There you go.
There you go.
That's a sweet gift. Thank you, brother. God bless. Thanks.
Thank you. Hey.
Nice.
We said goodbye to the other group of photographers.
Bye-bye.
And we headed back to our usual camping spot to check if the camera trap we set out the day before had spotted a leopard or not. When we got to the camera, we found that it had been disturbed by someone.
I don't know what they're trying to do, but they were trying to take it off, I guess.
Upon reviewing the footage, however, we learned that it was actually an animal who had knocked down the camera. It wasn't a leopard, it was something much more exciting. So exciting, in fact, that sadly I cannot even share it with you, as a paper about the presence of this animal in this particular region was still being written. How cool is that? So with the camera trap retrieved, we walked back to the main road, saying goodbye to all of the landmarks we had gotten to know over the week.
Goodbye, break spot. It was fun doing push-ups here. I can't believe I've been here. It's all gonna feel like a dream. Goodbye, rock that I slept on. Goodbye, Bollywood star push-up waterfall. Last time at Vulture Point. Bye, cows.
And thankfully we wouldn't have to walk all the way uphill again. One of the jeeps that took us to the view of the sunrise was waiting for us to take us back to our homestay. Although we did have to get a little bit creative with the seating.
Oh yeah, come on guys, yeah. You can come up.
One last cup of noodles and the remainder of our self-made momos, which tasted just as good fried as they did steamed, and we were off to bed. Last night of sleeping in our homestay.
Well, I'll be happy to be out of the cold, but I'm gonna miss the view. Damn. We just got the tea that we ordered. We are having a light breakfast. Curious about the paneer.
It was time to start heading back, which meant driving down the same roads we used to come up. Past our previous homestay, across the road that was still being dug out, although they had made a bunch of progress in the last few days, and materials for the repairs had also appeared all over the place. But we made it past safely, and from there we'd be heading towards a place called Jaubari. But first, we made a small stop for tea along the way, and here we had a chance encounter with some students who had received scholarships from the Red Panda Network. These scholarships are handed out to children in need. Priority is given to children of forest guardians and children living in poverty, especially if they score high in biology and conservation subjects in school. Kind of a way to support the forest guardians of the future, and another great initiative that I didn't even know about before going on this trip. We made our way further uphill, passing more beautiful landmarks, streams, prayer flags, and eventually we got to a part full of coniferous trees, which immediately looked completely different than the areas that we've been to thus far. The further we got up this hill, the sparser the foliage got, until we reached the top, where it was almost entirely barren. Once a forest like the Red Panda Habitat that we visited, this hilltop had been entirely deforested, mostly due to the livestock in this area. But there is hope, because for the past 8 years, Red Panda Network has been active in this area replanting Red Panda Habitat. Every year they purchase more land here and they plant over 50,000 saplings, all to create a corridor between Sigalila National Park in India and the protected forests here in Nepal. And with success, they've already seen wildlife return to this area, including deer, leopard, and red panda. Still, there's a stark contrast between the part of the restoration site that has been here for 8 years and the part that only has recently been planted. On top of hills like this, plants don't grow all that fast, so it will take years, maybe decades, before this is a proper forest once again. But definitely not due to lack of trying. Tons of people from Jaubari are working here on the site, planting and tending to the trees. It's another great example of Red Panda Network involving the community in the conservation efforts.
Although the work is difficult and challenging, since this is their locality and their place, they enjoy working for this place.
Oh,
So yeah.
that's really cool.
The community is proud of the work they're doing here and happy to see wildlife returning, even though it might mean there's a chance a leopard will attack their livestock.
The change has been significant here, and they are saying the leopard has just was inside our nursery here.
A leopard.
Just few days ago. So the wildlife has also increased, and their movement is around this area. Back then it was just below.
So we need to take more care of the complex as well.
Yeah. Wow.
Speaking of the livestock, you can see that the restoration sites are fenced off. This is of course to prevent the livestock from eating and trampling the saplings, but Red Panda Network did make sure to leave some room for livestock to graze along the road in order to avoid conflict with the farmers.
But they still have the cattle, so we leave along patches
A
to
patch of land close to the road so that
Yes.
the cattle can graze as well.
Yeah.
The fence, by the way, used to be entirely made out of bamboo, like you can see over here. But a large part of it has been turned into the chain link fence you can see over here, which was actually sponsored by Rotterdam Zoo in the Netherlands, which is just super cool to see. The fence is over 5 kilometers long and it protects the entire restoration site, so that's super, super cool. And in case you were wondering, yes, as you can see by the radio tower in the distance, this is the same restoration site that we could see from our Dobato homestay in the previous episode. Inside of the restoration site is this huge tree nursery, and here we got to see the process of preparing the saplings for planting. A slow process, as it can take 4 years for a sapling to be ready to be planted in the field. They have a number of different types of greenhouses here, each designed to give the saplings enough protection from the elements while also making them robust enough to be ready for this harsh mountain environment.
This is a bit low, and the temperature is a bit high here. It's good for growing the seeds, sowing the seeds.
Yeah, so for first they go here and then you move them there.
Yeah.
And it's good they're doing this research, because this is a topic that not a lot of knowledge is available for. Currently, only about 30 to 40% of the saplings that they plant actually survive, and something that they do still hope to improve, as each sapling does come at a cost. A small cost perhaps, but when you're planting 50,000 trees a year, that does add up.
Is there a message they want us to take back to our countries?
So in short, they need more support.
Yeah. To donate more, and the more happier.
Yeah, got it.
And if you want to support this project, look for the Plant a Red Panda Home campaign of the Red Panda Network, so you can help give a home to Jaubari. After our visit to the restoration site, we had a wonderful lunch in Jaubari, and then it was time to head south. As the next day would already be the last day of the Red Panda Eco Trip, and we'd be flying back to Kathmandu. We ended up driving to a place called Fikal, where we would be staying the night, and we finally had a little bit of luxury once again.
Alright, we have made it to our next hotel. My hair is a mess, that's fine, because I'm about to shower. Oh my god, look at these bathrooms. This is super fancy. Alright, so the shower was fantastic, but what I'm especially happy about is finally shaving, because I look awful in about all of the photos that have been taken of me or that I took of myself. Glad that that stupid mustache is finally gone now, and whatever else my face is actually able to grow. Of course I could have shaved in the cold, but the shaving cream is cold. I would have to wash my face with cold water. It was really cold. I didn't want to do it, so I just dealt with the fact that there's a huge spider in the corner of my room. I'm sure that's fine. A second spider! Oh my god, I ate way too much. But that was a lovely, not final dinner. We're gonna have one more dinner with everyone tomorrow. We had so many nice appetizers, and then a big plate of noodles, and there were momos as well. So it turns out I was the only one to actually manage to get a hot shower, and now I feel kind of bad. Alright, we were supposed to be ready at 6, and it's exactly 6. And I'm ready, except I don't have shoes on. So that's pretty good.
We had a quick breakfast and we continued our journey to the airport. Once again driving past some familiar sights like the tea fields at the top of the hill and this ad for a bungalow that I kept seeing all over the place. Eventually making it back down to the flat farmlands of Badrapur. We once again had great seats to view the Himalayas from, and again clear skies as well, so that was amazing. Seriously, we've been so lucky in terms of the weather when it comes to these local flights. And once we arrived back in Kathmandu, we got our stuff, we dropped our bags off to be delivered to the hotel, while we visited a very, very exciting place. The headquarters of the Red Panda Network in Kathmandu. I absolutely loved it here. There were so many little red panda objects all over the place, and some really beautiful murals on the walls. Here we met the executive director of the Red Panda Network, who handed us a certificate of a lifetime experience of seeing the red panda in the wild. A lovely souvenir right there. I got a perfect shot of me receiving the thing. Everything's in frame, no complaints there. We also got a t-shirt, this cute little notebook full of Red Panda facts, the annual report, as well as the strategic plan of the Red Panda Network for the coming 4 years. So just some lovely goodies right there. But most excitingly,
this is really bad. Our bad behavior got rewarded. Oh, this is so exciting!
We actually got the Red Panda rugs, and we couldn't be more happy. They actually gave us a discount, but I think everyone just wanted to pay full price as a thank you for the amazing trip. We had lunch at an avocado cafe, where we ate an avocado salad, and I also had some noodle soup. And then we took all of our Red Panda swag back to our hotel. Once again, our driver could not find the hotel, so we had to walk the rest of the way. But thanks to Google Maps, we made it. Different room, slightly smaller. Not that I needed any of that space I had before. In about 1 hour, we're meeting up with the people from Red Panda Network one more time to go have dinner at a Hard Rock cafe. Not sure how that's gonna be, but we'll see. In the meantime, I'm just gonna get some souvenirs. I want to get better magnets than the one that I got, so I just got to the very touristy bit. I think this is where we'll find some very generic souvenirs. I feel very out of place.
I doubt there's a big chance that I'll be able to find something with a red panda on it. Woohoo! Found the most generic magnet ever. That's exactly what I want. And I also bought a fossil. That has nothing to do with Nepal. I just saw it and I thought it was cool. Look at all these pigeons. I've asked like 4 or 5 different stores, like, do you have anything with the red panda, with Hamri? Nope, nothing.
Dinner at the Hard Rock Cafe was lovely. It was quite weird. The cafe is located in this one street that's just full of Western stores and restaurants. You've got a KFC, a Baskin Robbins, which I'd never even seen a Baskin Robbins before, and now I'm seeing one in Kathmandu of all places. Just all sorts of things like that. The cafe itself was also clearly targeted at Western people. The local dishes were given an English name. For instance, Mustang Aloo became Himalayan potato wedges. But they still tasted really nice, and the burgers were also really good. But that was it. That was the Red Panda Eco Trip. But that's not where this series ends. I mean, did you really think that I would go all the way to Nepal just for the pandas? Well, I almost did, but a couple of months before departure, I decided to extend my holiday by just a few days and also visit Chitwan National Park, and you'll see more about that in the next one. Next time on Goron Goes Wild.
Guys, got anything between you and the rhino?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very strong smell. Very curious to see if the airport momos are gonna be the first thing to give me food poisoning.